Hi folks, welcome to the Rosera Network. I'm Rich Walker and with me today is...
Hi, it's me, Dean Abdu. Hello everybody.
Dean Abdu, and we're looking at Code Vein again. This is the first time I've played it in a little while. It's looking a bit smoother, a bit slicker. They've tightened up the mechanics since I last played it. But guess what? I'm still rubbish.
So, Rich, what's Code Vein? I don't know anything about it. Give me the lowdown.
Right, so the way of pithily kind of summing it up, and we've been guilty of this. In fact, I think it was on the thumbnail of our last video. Anime Dark Souls.
Right.
Some people don't like that as a comparison. It's a bit lazy, I'll grant you, but it's a great way of summing it up. It is kind of an anime Dark Souls. What else are you supposed to say? Do you know what I mean?
So, what makes it an anime Dark Souls? Give me the rundown with what's currently going on.
Well, it's got an anime dark style, art style. I mean, the style is dark.
Yeah.
An anime dark... Fucking hell. An anime art style, and it looks and plays like Dark Souls a bit.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's where that comes from. But what you're seeing at the moment is me, obviously, killing some demons. You're kind of a revenant, and you have to kind of feed on blood, or ichor, it's called. And you have different gifts, different powers that you have that you don't have in Dark Souls. So that's where the kind of twist is. So, where you see this kind of quick menu in the bottom right corner, that little diamond of abilities, those are things you can break out, and that 10 out of 10 is your ichor level. So each gift costs a certain number of points, and you have 10 to work with, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So you'll see that later on. I think you'll probably see more in the boss battle that we've got in this video, where I remember that I have those gifts and abilities, and I use them.
Okay.
But there's all sorts here. There's a gauge on the left above your stamina and health that kind of enables you to kind of rhythmically combo moves together. Now, I didn't use that because it's slightly too complicated. I just hammered the buttons because that's all I'm good for, basically. But yeah, there's something to that. You've got different items on the D-pad as well. So at the moment, that item I've got equipped, that nullifies a status effect where you're slowed. That happens to me on the boss again, that you'll see in a bit. You've got these as well. You can edit your quick menu, different abilities. You've got your weapons. You can get different armor pieces and stuff like that. Obviously, you've got your companion as well. That's where it differs from Dark Souls also. So rather than having other players enter the world with you, you bring these different companions along. So there's one called Louis or Lewis, depending on how you like pronouncing that. There's Yakumo, who was recently revealed in a trailer as well. He's with me at the moment, and he's got a big old sword. So again, adhering to the anime kind of archetypes with the big, giant, oversized weapons also. Yeah. Any questions, Dean?
Well, I'm just watching you go through each of these guys, and I can see that big fella over there. Is that kind of like the boss?
Kind of it's a mini boss, sort of. I mean, it's a large enemy. And I thought, I'll steam in and have a go. And yeah, I got absolutely annihilated. So also, it doesn't help that I haven't played this in a while and I haven't got the right thing equipped. So I should have had my regeneration on hand.
Ooh, nearly went off the edge.
Nearly went off the edge, yeah. Don't think I didn't do that a few times, because I did. The stuff that I didn't get time to kind of get to grips with, so I'm sure you can probably do backstabs and things like you can in Dark Souls, but I didn't get a chance to do that. I really was not kind of thinking tactically and smartly enough in these encounters. But usually your partner revives you as well.
Okay.
That didn't happen here. Sometimes if they're in trouble, they can't get to you and revive you.
Right, I was going to say, because I think I did see Yakumo go down, so it seemed like you were kind of soloing it there for a bit.
Yeah, if they're downed, you're in trouble, basically. You're screwed. I mean, I came to rely on them in the boss fight a bit. Well, I mean, a lot. But like Dark Souls as well, you can pick up your Lost Haze, it's called. That's your kind of currency for leveling up. When you go to a Mistle, Mistle, that's where you can save your game. They're like Dark Souls bonfires. You can level up there, use your haze to level up your character and your abilities and so on.
Okay.
I didn't get to a point where I was able to get to another Missile and do that, unfortunately. But you see, I was trying to sort of sneak up here and do a kind of backslash.
It
that
seems
works.
like your other guy was just ready to take him on straight off the bat.
I mean, your companion, to be fair, they are quite useful. They don't just kind of hang back and stand around doing nothing.
Okay.
They get stuck in and help out. Not too much though. Right, last demo I played, you could smash certain bits of scenery.
Oh, so
that's
is
why
that
I
one of the
tried that.
changes?
Not
Or is it that
necessarily,
wasn't a bit that you could smash?
I think it's just a bit you can't smash.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, like Dark Souls as well, you got a lot of enemies hiding, waiting to ambush you, like this guy did. Yeah, I mean,
is it similar in concept as well, that when you die, all those enemies respawn, so you got to go through them all again?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
So that's why the anime Dark Souls thing, it's, you know, an easy comparison, but it's an apt one, for sure.
I can see how this basically is an anime Dark Souls. Like, it is very Dark Souls-esque in how you've got your own sort of bonfires that you were saying earlier, in that all the enemies respawn after you die, so you got to go through them all again. You got your different bosses.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
It shares a lot of DNA with From Software's games, particularly like the Souls and Bloodborne games.
Okay.
But it's kind of its own thing. It's got its own mechanics going on and stuff. Its setting is quite different, so it's not kind of that kind of medieval gothic type fantasy. It's more a weird sort of post-apocalyptic, kind of almost near future, I suppose, because you can see in the background just then there were kind of skyscrapers. So, you know, it's in a sort of more present time.
Wow, that's a big sword.
Yeah, this is where I'd try and mix it up, which is probably not a good idea because this sword is super slow.
Ah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, that was ill-advised. That was a bad idea, but I've been revived, so it's okay.
That's all right.
Get another chance. So, honestly, I really tried my best here.
And there's that big guy again. Attempt number 2.
Well, I think this is a different one. Oh no, I've gone in a circle. No, it's the same one. I've gone a more circuitous route and ended up back in the same place, I think. So yeah, I've ended up getting stuck on this same enemy. I mean, in reality, if I were see what I mean? If I were playing this for real and not under the confines of a time limit or kind of pressure, because this was a 10-minute demo, I would have taken the time to kind of grind a bit and level up before taking this on.
So what's going on here? This is a whole new boss?
Yeah, so I brought in Mia with me because I was more familiar with her as a companion. Okay. I had her in the previous demo I played. So that's why I've drafted her in.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
But straight away, I'm like, oh, okay. So the boss I last played against in the previous demo, you could sort of steam in a bit and get a few cheap hits in. But this one, no way. I mean, if you can get a few in and then sort of weaken her so that she's vulnerable, yeah, you get a moment to kind of wear her down a bit.
Right.
And Mia's super effective. She's got some really cool attacks, and she's good because she's ranged. She's got that rifle, but some pretty decent dodging going on there.
Yeah, she's holding her own.
Got my lost haze back.
Like, this is... Oh.
But see what I mean? One hit and that's more than half of your health rinsed. So, like I said, and I got a slowed status effect there. Mia's got me revived.
Nice.
I'm thinking maybe I can, you know, try and win this back, claw this back. But no,
I mean, to be fair,
that's lethal, that one.
Halfway. Oh.
Yeah.
Like, so, exactly halfway.
There were many more attempts where I died. I tried about 5 or 6 times, I'd say.
Okay.
So is this a more successful attempt coming up, is it, Dean?
I believe this is the closest you got to beating the boss when I was scrubbing through the footage.
Right, okay. So, yeah, we give it one more go. I mean, maybe there's a better tactic. Maybe you can get the jump before she turns. Probably not. So, yeah. Again, I was low level. Slowed. I should have switched to my slow nullifying potion that I had. I don't know why I didn't. I mean, there's a timer ticking down on it, and I'm using my gifts and stuff. You can see I'm doing that. Like, I've raised my attack level, so my attack power is up at the moment, but there's like a frost kind of buff that you can apply to your weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different things that you can do, and I did try experimenting with them, like this one as well. I wasn't exactly sure what that one did. Obviously, if you were playing the game from the beginning as well, you'd probably learn what all these different things do. I was dropped in to kind of the thick of it. Like, here you go. Good luck. Good luck. And yeah, like I say, I tried my best.
I mean, you're doing good. Past the halfway point.
Past the halfway point. That's exciting, isn't it?
And you still... Okay, I was about to say you still got decent health, but then it just went down a shit ton.
Yeah, but I've got some regen, so it's fine.
Okay, nice.
Remember, you can't regenerate. I can try. So look, she's giving it some.
I mean, good bow.
It's just that you can guard and you can parry, but it's very tricky. And I found that the guard let me down quite a lot.
Okay.
Like some of the things you just can't guard, and I didn't know how to avoid that.
Oh no!
So that was the best attempt I had, which is pitiful, really.
Yeah, it was a solid attempt. You got past, like, you were about like a quarter of the way through.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the latest look at Code Vein. That is out in September, I believe, of this year. Is that right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, so look forward to that, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye.